buy some. There's
Oh, wait.
a lot of
So
curveballs.
it's just a matter of getting the code
But
to.
Okay.
I made every event, yes, made everything, the way they do things.
No.
3 days long, activities.
We'll call you before we do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. It is now 7 PM. I will call the Tuesday, May 20th, 2025 Board of Selectmen meeting to order. All three selectmen are present, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Make a motion that we approve the Board of Selectmen meeting minutes from May 2nd, 2025.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on these minutes?
None.
Nothing.
Fantastic as always. All in favor of approving the Board of Selectmen meeting minutes from May 2nd, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And I'll make a motion that we approve the Board of Selectmen meeting minutes from Tuesday, May 6th, 2025.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on these minutes?
Nope.
Okay, all in favor of approving the Board of Selectmen meeting minutes from May 6th, 2025, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. I do not have any correspondence. Do either of you have any correspondence to bring?
Nothing.
Nothing.
All right, we'll open up the floor to selectmen comments.
The only two things we get going is the Memorial Day weekend for the parade, and hopefully the weather's great because it isn't sounding good leading into it. And the referendum on the 28th.
Yes, 12 to 8,
Exactly.
Wednesday, 12 to 8.
Those are the two.
Are you gonna talk about the times for the parade?
Times 9 o'clock,
9
kickoff
o'clock kickoff
here
at the town hall.
Yes.
Yes,
For the parade on Monday.
yes.
That's it.
All right. I don't really have anything too much to share. Public Works has been working hard. They sweep the streets for the parade route today. Joe has been ultra focused on making sure that all of the cemeteries are beautiful. And just doing basic cleanup at this point. So,
I did notice they swept the streets on Main Street. Yeah,
yeah, they
looks
looked
good.
good this morning early.
Looks good.
So. All right, with that, we'll open up the floor to citizen comments. We'll start in the Zoom audience. Any citizen comments? Seeing none, any citizen comments in the room? Yes,
You can go ahead.
Well, I was doing.
state your name.
Oh, Eric Jacobo,
Okay,
Director of Thompson Public Library. So just figured I'd make a couple of announcements of stuff that's coming up that
great.
I know that our youngest patrons in the community would be very interested in coming in, and as well as some other new services that our friends of the library will establish. But first, I'd like to thank the members of the building committee. I know they're not here, but I do want to be let known that working closely with Bill on communication with regard to the oil tank and everything. He's been very upfront with me, working with me very closely, and thankful with all the work and communication they've had with me thus far. So I wanted to make that known. I want to thank them for all their help with regard to that.
Excellent.
Yeah. Second, as you guys well know, summer is fast approaching, and our summer reading program is about to start off the beginning of this June. So on June 11th will be the official start of our summer reading program in terms of signups. So for children and adults, they can sign up to get involved in the summer reading program and earn all sorts of prizes throughout the summer for their reading. The first day events will be on the 23rd of June, and our last day of events will be on the August 1st, I believe, will be our last day of events that we have stuff going on. But in terms of what we're offering, we have our Make It Monday, where you come in and you get to work with our Make It Lab. We have stories on Tuesday where our little kids come in and we have all sorts of crafts and stories that we have going on. And then on Wednesday, we have our roll and play, which is kind of for the teens, so they get to do all sorts of different board games. And then on Thursday, we have more kind of highlighted events going on at that time. A part of our big theme this year is, it's called Level Up with Your Library. We're gonna have all game themed sort of things going on throughout the summer. And so we'll be kind of having our larger programs and our game themed programs for those days. And then on Fridays, we have our afternoon family matinees. And thanks to our friends of the library, we were able to get a popcorn machine where we can pop fresh popcorn and the kids come on in and they get to have a bag of popcorn while they watch a family friendly film. So we're very excited to be having that. And in addition to all this wonderful stuff happening with our summer reading program, thanks very much to our friends, we have now expanded our library of things. So not only do we have some what is it? I think we have a pickleball set there, along with a couple of other pieces of equipment. You can also take out board games like you would a book, available there. And we have more items coming as well that our friends are providing, gardening tools that you can check out as well. And that connects to our latest thing. Thanks to the Quiet Corner Gardening Club and the Friends of the Library, we now have an officially established seed exchange inside the library. So you can come on in, you can get free seeds. It's all out of our old card catalog. So you just pull open one of the card catalog slots, you take out some seeds, and then you can go plant it, and anything you harvest, you can bring back later on and donate some to it. So it's free and open to the public sort of thing. And thanks to our friends and the gardening club, we now have more services that we're offering, and we got some prizes to come down the way. So, but I figured I'd give an update about that, and we're very excited about the summer coming up and everything that we'll be offering. So,
I'm excited too, Jared.
oh yeah,
So.
Sounds great.
I want to
Yeah.
participate. The summer reading program, is that like you hit so many books over the summer, or
Yeah.
what is the deal?
so I don't know all the details off
Okay.
the top of my head, but for the adult program, what we're gonna be doing is having kind of a draw of prizes at the end of it. So we'll have about 50 or 60 individual prizes, some as small as like $5 dunk gift certificates,
Yeah.
all the way up to like a $50 gift certificate to iTunes, where you can go on and get more music and stuff like that. And you get to, as you go through the summer for the adults, if you read 10 books, you get an entry into there. If you submit along with those books, about every 5 book review entries, you get an extra entry. So when you put that in throughout the summer, and at the end of the summer, when we draw your entries, you can become a candidate to get one of our prizes that we have there. And it's kind of a first come, first serve sort of thing. But we have a lot of good stuff. We're working closely with a lot of community partners who are working with us to donate gift certificates or different books and things like that to add to kind of the treasure trove for people to get.
Excellent.
Now, for our kids, it's a little bit more involved,
Yeah,
obviously. But for the kids, we have a program set up where for the younger kids, if they participate just once throughout the summer, at the very end of it, even if they just read one book the entire summer, they get a free book at the end of the program with it. Along with just participating throughout, we have little prizes and stuff throughout then. But if they decide to read the halfway point and get to 10 books that they read throughout the summer, and they submit that, they get to go to Floyd's treasure trove, where we have a big dragon that's being made, and every dragon has to have a treasure hoard. So we're gonna have a big truck that'll be right in front of the dragon, and they get to pick a handful of prizes out of there at the halfway point. And then at the very end, if they read up to 20 books throughout the summer, then they get a free gift certificate from the ice cream shop that I think it's located near the Speedway. Bogies, so we
Bogies,
got a free ice cream that they can get, as well as a free donut that they can get from Dunkin' Donuts as well.
Woohoo.
So.
I love it.
Oh yeah, so fun stuff.
Kids should love it.
Any other questions for Jared?
What about the middle schoolers?
The middle schools, same thing, they're in there, we've kind of adjusted a little bit, and then we also have the different programs throughout the summer as well. So there'll be lots of opportunities for fun and whatnot. I know that for the middle schoolers, they'll probably be into the role and play and working around with our Make It Lab as well, so. But we'll be excited.
Sounds awesome.
Love it.
Sounds
Thank you for
great.
sharing.
No
Thank you.
problem.
Appreciate that.
So it didn't mean to take up too much time, but,
Sounds like it'll be a fun summer.
oh yeah, well, we hope it will be. So, yeah.
It's good.
Yeah,
All
love
right.
it.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Citizen comments, Steve.
Steve Benoit, Management Director.
Yep.
I'd like to thank the constable this weekend for working with the Bay State Trail Riders on their. I think I have it twice a year function, and thank Valerie Clark for being a great hostess.
Excellent.
We got a great team of constables out there now.
Thank you to them and all that they're doing.
And your
'cause
constables
They're doing
will
something
be,
every weekend, I feel like.
and they'll be working this
Oh, no.
Memorial Day, correct?
No.
Huh?
Yeah. Yes, they will.
Yes.
And we have some fire police working with us.
Yeah.
And CERT team.
And Public Works is coming out to put up the barricades to close down Route 12, and school staff is going to be pulling the float this year in lieu of Public Works pulling the float with their new truck, so that's excellent.
Oh, good.
So, yeah,
And the road
Thank
will be
you.
closed from Route 200 to Buckley Hill
yes,
until the parade's done.
Good, excellent.
thank you for your work with that. Ensuring the safety of all the participants, it means a lot. So, thank you, Steve.
You know, I just wanted to see if Melinda would jump when I said no.
Any other citizen comments in the room? Citizen comments virtually. All right, we will move on. Agenda item 7, Suicide Prevention Coalition update from Melinda Smith, Superintendent of Schools.
So, thank you for having me this evening. What you don't know, is that since, last fall, a grant opportunity in partnership with CERAC came out, to work on suicide prevention, activities and strategies, and to improve some of the, processes that we have in district to address, obviously, social emotional regulation, and then obviously suicide prevention, and then unfortunately suicide postvention that we really need to do a lot of work on. And so we submitted a grant in partnership with CERAC, and the grant was awarded. We're one of 5 districts across the state that is participating in this program. Mark Irons is the executive director of CERAC. He is here to talk about the community portion of the grant activity. However, there is a school-based team that's pretty robust. We've gone through a lot of training over the course of this year. Our committee is together. We have done a needs assessment. From the needs assessment, we have developed goals and objectives and action plan that was presented to the Board of Education last week. Very well received by our board. We're going to continue to work and keep this committee together and growing. And we're seeing a lot of positive outcomes from our school staff. If you haven't heard yet, there is an ad running on Winnie for suicide prevention that was recorded by 2 Turtle Lot students. And it's part of the grant funding that we received. We were able to run that spot. But Mark is here to talk about the grant itself has 2 facets, and the community facet is a little bit behind what we're doing at the school level. So I'm going to turn it to you.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. My name is Mark Irons, and I'm the executive director at Southeastern Regional Action Council, right? Big name for an organization that serves 41 communities, so all the way down to the Connecticut River, up to the Massachusetts border, out to Lebanon, Lyman. We're not a direct service organization. We're an organization that provides advocacy, training, consulting, technical assistance around some major areas: gambling, substance use, mental health promotion, and suicide prevention. So I have a staff of about 11 people that do a variety of different things. But tonight we're going to kind of focus on the work that we're doing with Thompson Public Schools, both the public schools piece, which you'll hear a little bit about, I think is good background information, and then the community piece, which is tied into this as well. Click forward. There you go. So a little bit about CERAC. I do want to thank the town of Thompson, as well as Thompson Public Schools. You are recovery-friendly workplaces. That's something from CERAC, right? So that's the folks at CERAC, Deb Walker and Eric Reynolds, That's something that we work on as well with communities to give you the ability to assist your employers or employees when they're having issues with substance use. So it just doesn't say you, it just gives you the training, technical assistance. We're one of 5 organizations. As you see, we cover the second largest. The folks in Western have 2 more towns than us, but we certainly cover a large swath of land there. Doing what we do. Our funding sources are the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, Department of Children and Families are our main funding entities. Can move on. Just some, why suicide prevention in particular here in Connecticut. It's part of the Garrett Lee Smith. It's a federal funding from Senator Smith. He's from Oregon. It started in 2010. He had lost his son, a college-age student. He had died by suicide. He had made some grant act before the federal government. Connecticut has had it several times, both for college campuses as well as some high school and district-wide initiatives. The decision was made that CRAC would be asked to find a partner district. So in 41 communities, we have to find a partner district. And it's important to recognize that we started reaching out to different superintendents to see if there'd be interest in working with us. It's a multi-year grant, which is great to hear that it's multi-year, but it means a lot of work. So some of our districts weren't as inclined. To the credit of Superintendent Smith, she jumped right on it. We were communicating nights and weekends to put together a package of why this town could benefit. I'm a lifelong Eastern Connecticut resident, I'm a proud Plainfield resident, and I think sometimes we get forgotten about in the northeast corner. So for us to be part of this, we are the smallest district that's participating in this project, but I think it's so valuable to have these resources coming in. So what we see here is a little bit of Connecticut data. That's from the youth survey that goes out every year. It's from 23, and it just kind of tells you that about 19.4 youth as part of this survey statewide were seriously concerned suicide at the time they took the assessment. So definitely just trying to show the gravity and importance of this issue in this work. We can go on to another data point. This is just one on some more data that just kind of talks a little bit about individuals sort of, between ideation and suicide attempt. Just kind of looking at some of the information as well on a statewide level. You kind of see some of that. And then we're getting into some regional data next. It's going to kind of give us a little picture. So we'll see this next map here. This kind of shows us the state of Connecticut and Thompson for 5 to 17-year-old suicide ideation. This is some ER data. So when you enter the emergency room, there are reasons for entry that are checked off. We're within the second highest when we look at the color indicator. There you'll see the yellow. So that's some ER data talking about from 5 to 17-year-olds with suicidal ideation. So that's thoughts and ruminating about suicide. The next one is going to be attempt data. So this is sort of entry point upon the ER. We have some third highest data when it comes to 5 and 17-year-olds around suicide attempts on entry to the ER. So again, moving forward from statewide to sort of where we are in the townwide data, and now looking at some more regional data where when we're talking about 10 to 17-year-olds, third highest for suicide ideation. That's the regions, the DEMAS regions. So again, CRAC covers region 3. Kind of giving you a perspective of 10 to 17-year-olds. The next, we're going to look to that next group that's about 18 to 24-year-olds. Again, sitting in that third highest when it comes to suicidal ideation as well. So kind of having thoughts and considering and ruminating about suicide. Again, kind of, showing where we are in comparison to the other regions. And then we use youth mobile crisis data. Hopefully folks in the room are aware that there's mobile crisis services, both for youths as well as adults. UCFS, United Community Family Services, provides the youth mobile crisis services for all 41 communities of the region that CRAC serves. They're accessed telephonically. They respond out. They have 2 different teams, a northern team and a southern team. And they provide both at a place of concern, meaning that at a home or a community location or to the school, right? So they deploy out in 2-person teams. There's a clinician and a case manager. And they go out and try to provide on-site assessment. So the next data was just to kind of tell you where, when we talk about mobile crisis data, what are we talking about? So now we see high, sort of concern, but low utilization, right? So we have low utilization of mobile crisis services, more on the town side than the school side, but a recognition that we're a ripe community to potentially partner on this grant because we have the issues where we know folks are thinking about suicide, young people. We also know there's attempt behavior that's occurring. and we're maybe not utilizing all of our mobile crisis services. So again, that makes it sort of this multi-year effort to get that information out there. And I'll talk a little bit about what's going to happen this month on that in particular in a second. Then here's some school-based data that we were able to get from the mobile crisis folks, as well as town-wide data. So, region-wide, they get about this many calls between 2019 and 2024. We break it down to how many calls are specific. You'll see a difference between calls and individual young people, right? So you have multiple potential calls coming in from the town. And then when we look to the bottom points, we can kind of see some of the information that's school-specific. So which schools are reaching out, what's the information that they're asking for mobile crisis to come in. So just kind of showing many times folks that don't work directly in education are kind of interested in elementary school. And, that's an area that we may not forget about, but there's an area of concern, right? That we can be in second and third grade and be having conversations about wanting to take my life or making statements that may put them in danger. So definitely accessing the resource. This is just some trend data regarding the town when it comes to, having issues and concerns when it comes to ER visits, as well as suicidal ideation and urgent care visits as well. So this is hospitals as well as urgent care centers. You can kind of see, we know what was sort of occurring with the largest spike, but we also see some trend data that's sort of still sending it in the upward direction. Town specific. So again, these were all data points utilized in our application to say we need to bring it to this town. We want to work collaboratively with this town. But it's most importantly to highlight the receptiveness, right, to a district and a community to work together. It's not always that entities want to ask another agency to come in and assist them. Schools at times can be insular in nature, but that's not the case here. This is super collaborative, and we really appreciate that. So the Garrett Lee Smith is basically going to we're going to bring in the technical assistance that Superintendent Smith kind of mentioned. We're going to bring in the training, and we'll talk it into length in that. We're going to really look to put the grant works to reduce suicide risk and death among youth 24 and under. So again, we'll have the piece that's the school age kids as well as that young adult population through evidence-based practices and sustainable community partnerships. Because it's multi-year, the hope is that we take a gradual approach, but also that we leave it in a better place when we're done, right? That's a sustainability that whether that's through funding, supports, or resources remain here. Then that's when the grant ends, it's not that the work ends. It's really set up for success. And there's a few goals that we have we want to implement best practices for mental health and suicide prevention, properly identify at-risk youth and connect them and families with appropriate continuum of care, right? So have that policy and practice in place. Give school personnel professional development opportunities surrounding warning signs of suicide screening and treatment, develop the policies and protocols that are most necessary, and promote the suicide and crisis line 988. Really important to realize if you don't have 988 on your phone right now, so I come from the era of 911 sticker on the phone. I was a latchkey kid, went in trouble, called 911, right? Mom and dad said, don't leave the oven on, right? So those are some guiding principles, but I think it's important now that every person know that it's not just for ourselves, but for other people. If you're worried about somebody in your life, you don't know who to call, answer 24/7 and not nationally, here locally, right? The 988 call center is in Rocky Hill, Connecticut, staffed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by trained professionals. They're there to provide an assistance. So we're going to try to amplify that recognition. There should be a mailer going to every home in here in Thompson during the course of May as part of this, the community phase, where we identify 988. There's also going to be a billboard here in the town regarding 988 and encouraging people to recognize the importance of utilizing the crisis line. Aligning the work that we're doing between the school and what's currently existing within a multi-tiered system, which is a school-based model in terms of interventions, and deciding when to utilize those interventions is really important. There's a school-based team that's been, so I should give credit. Emmy Lynn Walenda is someone who works for me. She's our program manager on this project for us. Emmy Lynn is actually in Wyndham tonight. Doing a training. She also works on prescription drug overdose, and she's at the Wyndham Community Center training a bunch of first responders in leave behind kits, which is leaving Narcan and other materials behind after an overdose. So doing double duty. So I said I'd come up here and sort of speak about it. But this is the team from the school personnel that Melinda and her folks have put together that's working with Emmy Lynn as well as an organization called the Educational Development Center, EDC. They're a national leader in suicide prevention and school-wide suicide prevention. So they're giving technical assistance and guidance. There's webinars. There's gonna be a series of training plan that comes forward as well, following the initial assessment that we did. So again, just kind of looking at some of the goals are in terms of providing some level of assessment and looking at what practices and policies are there, what needs to be beefed up and secured or even developed, potentially moving forward with a series of trainings and capabilities to expand our ability to do risk screening, some assessments, how to access community resources that are out there. And as Melinda mentioned, having the ability for postvention, which is the care and support after an untimely death like suicide. We don't want to think about it, but it's best to have the plan in place before it happens. You know, how do we support it? Dr. Cyril from the University of Kentucky says for every one lost by suicide, 135 people are impacted. Prior to that, we used to think it was 6, right? Family and friends. But if we expand the sphere of influence after someone passes, you might have seen them every day getting a coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, saw them at the gym, a former coworker, parent on the PTO with you. So the impacts that suicide can have on a community are pretty broad. So required trainings that we'll be bringing through the district, as well as there'll be community offerings as well. I think there's slides for you, so you can move forward if you don't mind. Thank you. So question, persuade, refer is the basic suicide prevention training that everyone should have. If you haven't had QPR, we offer it once a month virtually. We can bring it to any organization or any place that's interested. It's done in about 90 minutes. It's not making you a clinician. It's not making you a counselor. People in crisis are going to turn to their friends, neighbors, and people they know. Many times we're asked difficult questions or we're concerned and we don't know what to say. That's what stops us. QPR gives you the words of how you show care and concern for each other. We're all superheroes. It's interesting, the library's here talking about your dragons and superheroes. We are, and our superpower is the ability to provide connection. We just have to choose to use it or not. So QPR is our baseline that we try to get to everyone. COM, or counseling on access to lethal means, is more for our support staff, clinical supports, guidance counselors, social workers. That's a more lengthy and in-depth, and that talks about the fact that we know the majority of suicides occur by firearm or medication. So when you're providing assessment and services to someone in crisis, are you asking them about, again, not taking guns, but securing guns safely? We're talking about medication. How are we managing and securing those as well? One of my staff is, I'm COM trained, as well as I have a staff actually in a 2-day training, bringing that to the district and the town. Signs of suicide will be student peer-based. So it really talks about the ability to assist young people when they're struggling. Who are they going to turn to? Each other. So signs of suicide is a really good one, both for school staff as well as student to student, to see the signs, to know how to interact with each other when they think someone's having a crisis. The Columbia Suicide.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. You've been doing a great job. The Columbia Suicide Severity Rating Scale is a universal rating scale. It's used in a variety of settings. It's a series of questions. If anyone works in the medical field, sometimes your ID on the back of it will have a Columbia screener. Department of Corrections uses it, as well as other entities. So it's a series of questions that lay people, you don't have to be clinical in nature, can ask the original Columbia screener. And if you get some answers to yes, you know you have a situation that you need to provide care and support, and it gives you some guidance on where to direct people. And it's free and can be used and replicated. Dr. Kelly Posner created the Columbia. This is Gizmo, right? So Gizmo's Possum Guide to Mental Health, a 3rd grade reading book that talks about, never mentions suicide, but talks about mental health promotion. Talks about ways to care for ourselves, the role that nature plays, the role that breathing plays, when we're dysregulated, who a trusted adult is. Coming up with a plan, we know there's going to be difficulties ahead, even when we're young, but how do we deal with those difficulties? And it's done through a cute dog. It's a dog from Manchester, Connecticut. That's a book that was originated in Connecticut. Gizmo's now retired, alive and well, but retired. And his sibling Gadget is going to be coming out and about. And that book's been brought all over the country. So we're fortunate to have it created here in Connecticut. It can be used as a classroom, which will be done in this district, but it also can be done as a library read-along. Gizmo, the librarian or child librarian will read the book. We bring free books. We usually ask a pet therapy or a comfort dog to come with us, and that we say is a friend of Gizmo. And everyone gets a book and does some other activities. So Gizmo is a great way to talk about mental health in a safe setting with young. And then we have this community-led prevention team, the CLSP, because if we're gonna work at a school district, we have to look at the larger entity. So we have some great partners between the folks that are with Mobile Crisis that are currently doing the work here. School safety from Western Connecticut State University has a regional school safety person. Kylie Young's part of our team. We have a veteran representative, Natasha Austin, who works for the VA and is an outreach worker for Eastern Connecticut with our veteran population, which we're always concerned about. Region 3 has the largest population of veterans here in Connecticut. We also have Teague, our local provider, which has been a great organization for CRAC for many, many years, but we have folks over there that will be part of the team as well. So really looking at not just school-based, but also community-wide. This isn't about coming in from the outside and saying what to do. It's coming in and saying, how can we help what's already here and what would work for your community? So that community prevention team is a critical piece of extending beyond the school walls. And I thank you for your time. And we're really excited to be here for a couple of years working collaboratively with Thompson. If anyone has any questions, please.
Questions?
No, that was a pretty in-depth
Yeah.
presentation. Thank you.
I mean, we have dealing with, the school on the hill. What about the, let's say Marinopolis, et cetera?
Right. Yeah. Right now it's district specific, but we certainly, that'd be part of the community conversation, right? Is being able to,
And I can contact
Yeah.
Mr. Chico.
Yeah.
We have a good partnership with Marinopolis, so I'd be happy to reach out to
Yeah.
him when we're ready.
Yeah.
We're gonna start to recruit more members from the community to be part of the community coalition.
Yep.
That's our next step, is recruitment,
Right.
because we have a very small core. And we need everybody involved from all facets. And so we'll be reaching out. But I want to thank Mark for coming out this evening. He's just fresh off of his son's graduation and riding the red eye. So
Oh, wow.
if we don't have any more questions with him, I'll certainly let him pick up.
Well, I think
Here's a little interesting thing. I do love small town government, so I actually can get really geeked out here in terms of listening to what you're up to, but.
it's kind of a light agenda.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
The rest of it'll be very boring.
Yes. I was upset I missed the budget vote when I was out in Indiana for my son's graduation from Notre Dame, so I was a little excited, a little disappointed that I missed our own budget vote, so.
Yeah. Well, it looks like you're gonna have another chance.
Yes,
Yeah.
unfortunately, and it wasn't down by 4 votes, which would have been very
There was
upset
some
about.
very close.
Yes,
Well, please keep us apprised and let
absolutely.
us know how we can be of support.
sure, I appreciate that, like I said, but I want to say you have an excellent superintendent that picked up the phone. We were working weekends to bring this in, and I think I was very proud to say Thompson in comparison to these other districts, right? That we're there and that we're getting this out there, so this is kind of really important, so appreciate it, so.
Thank you,
All
Melissa.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Oh, and congratulations to your son.
Oh, thank you very much. Better news, he has a job, so that's.
Yeah.
That's always good news.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, have a good evening.
Thank you. All right, if there's no other thoughts or questions, all right, we'll
Nice
move on.
presentation.
Yes. All right, agenda item 8, Herb Portis could not make it tonight, so I told him
Schedule
to
them again.
Yeah.
push him back for the next meeting, so we won't touch that in any way.
Okay.
Agenda item 9, Community Fire Department request for a boot drive at the transfer station, May 24th. Oh, that's this Saturday. So,
I'll make the motion.
And I'll second it.
so Ken has the motion to approve the request for the boot drive at the transfer station this Saturday, May 24th. Suzanne seconds. Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, and then we have a request for an appointment to the Economic Development Commission. Andrew Irby, now a 6-year resident. Did you guys, you guys must have seen
Yes.
this in
Yeah,
what Lori sent, okay, just making sure. I'll make him, oh, you know what, though, I don't have the certificate. I don't know when his term would end. Because Marie wasn't here.
Well,
We can do it
We
on the
can-
next one,
Well, we could make the
Oh,
motion and then,
sign,
yeah.
I
and
just
sign
don't
it
have
at
the
next-
date of.
He's fulfilling the,
It's the alternate position, I think.
Yeah, alternate it says on it,
Right, but there'll still be a date,
a turn.
a term.
yeah, he's just gonna be completing it. I mean,
Is it a 4-year term or a 6-year term?
that I don't know.
He's not replacing anybody, I think he's just filling the position.
Yeah, he's,
So we could approve it pending the
Yeah.
term.
Yeah.
To be
To,
determined.
and exactly,
Yeah, then
for
we
a
sign
term
it.
to be, listed, and we could even. And make sure we have it in the minutes.
All right,
Right.
I'll make a motion that we approve or we appoint Andrew Irby to the Economic Development Commission as an alternate with his term to be determined.
Second,
Okay, any discussion on this appointment?
happy to have a volunteer.
yes,
Always. Okay, all in
Appoint-
favor?
appoint
Aye.
before- Aye.
Aye.
Appoint before he changes his mind.
Yeah, all right, so he is appointed and I will get that term to you guys. And I think that was. Any other business to bring before the Board of Selectmen
I
tonight?
have nothing.
All right, we'll open the floor to citizen comments here in the room. It's a quiet day, it's a quiet night. Citizen comments virtual. It's only Linda, so. All right, we will move on, tax refunds. I'll make a motion that we approve the following refunds. Richard G. Hustis, $279.32. Chiman Bahai LLC, $630. Eric B. O'Connor, $8.85, and Diane Reed, $15.73, for a total of $933.90 in tax refunds. Make that motion.
second,
Okay, any discussion? All in favor of approving these refunds, say aye.
aye,
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Suzanne has the motion to adjourn, Ken has the second. It is 7:37 PM. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Maureen. See you later.